you know, having worked with over 150,000 people from all over the world in 138 different countries, what I've noticed is that, you know, people are trying to use self-imposed beliefs, self-imposed limiting beliefs, to actually manifest, to change their life, to transform, and to do all these things. And actually, it's actually a waste of time. Now, I know that might be like, holy, what are you talking about? Transformation's a waste of time. But here's what's happening. If you have a negative belief, that negative belief is going to show up and validate, right, its own existence, right? You're the creator, so anything you believe, if it's negative, then so it is, right? Now, then you would think, well, let's just do positive belief then. This will work, except positive belief is just you putting forward a positive because you believe in the negative. So both positive and negative beliefs, what if they don't work? What if they're not real? And what if they're equally as separate?
Hello, welcome in to another edition of Chi Time, your conscious living show with me, Clara Apollo. And here, so excited, really, really excited. I know I'm always excited, but you know, this particular guest that I have today, she is a transformational leader. She doesn't mince her words. She's absolutely on it. She's rocket fueled. She's got a story that you won't believe happened to her, but she's got the tools, techniques, and the heart to go with huge transformation for all of us. I am talking about Rikka Zimmerman. She is on the other line. Here she is. Welcome in, Rikka. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Hi, so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Clara. It's such a gift, and thank you everyone for taking the time to join us and to really give yourself this gift. You know, it's just an honor to be here.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And time is such a gift. The time that we give to ourselves, the time that we share with others, the chi, the energy in that time, you can never get it again. So your time and your energy is really, really precious. Is this something that you really believe into?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love how you put that, right? Because would you like to be spending your time, you know, in your mind, not connected, not to life force energy, not receiving, or would you rather be spending every moment of your precious time, right, in life force energy, really receiving the goodness that life is, you know? And those are our options, right? We either get to be not separate from life force energy, or we pretend we're separate. And every moment we get to have a choice, you know? So yes.
Choice. No, but it's so important, isn't it? Behind everything that we do is a choice. And we may not be aware of the amount of choices that we actually have access to, but actually everything that we can decide with our aware mind can be a conscious choice.
Now, I do have an incredible tool I could give you guys right off the bat that you can begin using immediately to access this infinite awareness, infinite choice, and infinite possibility. And it's so good. It's so good. Okay, you guys ready? Maybe grab a pen and a piece of paper just to write it down, because you're going to start using this in your life and it's going to make a massive difference. Okay, so the tool is, if I were choosing from Source's infinite menu, what would I choose here?
And we're not talking sauces as in tomato sauce or
no, S-O-U-R-C-E, right? Source's infinite menu. Now, the cool thing about that is that a lot of people believe they're making choices, but their choices are from limitation, right? You believe you're not good enough, and so when you go out on a date, you keep trying to prove how you're good enough so that they see you as good enough, and that's what you're choosing. You're choosing to be good enough. That's actually not a choice, okay? That's actually an overcompensation for an illusionary pattern that keeps you separate from the goodness and the enoughness that you already are, right? So I don't consider that choice. I consider that a selection from a limited menu, and actually not real, right? So in that, you're like, I'm making this choice, but you're still experiencing an illusion of separation. You haven't entered life force energy to begin choosing yet, right? So just by asking, if I were choosing based on Source's infinite menu, what would I choose here? You're opening up a kaleidoscope of something that's beyond belief. Like, well, let's see, if I were choosing based on Source's infinite menu, What would I choose here? Well, when I'm going on that date, you know what? I would choose to already be loved. Like, I would choose to come to this with no attachment. I would choose to really enjoy myself, really connect, really show up, right? I would choose to be open to infinite possibility. See how that changes the whole landscape of choice? And it gives you an opportunity to begin choosing from alignment with source energy.
Yes, from alignment with source energy. We are talking chi, 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 chi. Well, it is behind
Yes.
everything. You know, without our life force energy, we would not be here. And I know it's stating the obvious, but sometimes that reframe on what's obvious and right in front of our eyes, or actually right at our backs, is really important to come back in align with, to let yourself acknowledge that deep, deep truth that you are life force energy, and you are connected to the vastness of all that is.
It's so beautiful, isn't it? Yes, it's so beautiful. And, you know, having worked with over 150,000 people from all over the world in 138 different countries, what I've noticed is that, you know, people are trying to use self-imposed beliefs, self-imposed limiting beliefs, to actually manifest, to change their life, to transform, and to do all these things. And actually, it's actually a waste of time. Now, I know that might be like, holy, what are you talking about? Transformation's a waste of time. But here's what's happening. If you have a negative belief, that negative belief is going to show up and validate, right, its own existence, right? You're the creator. So anything you believe, if it's negative, then so it is, right? Now, then you would think, well, let's just do positive belief then. This will work, except positive belief is just you putting forward a positive because you believe in the negative. So both positive and negative beliefs, what if they don't work? What if they're not real? And what if they're equally as separate? Okay, so take a breath and just breathe that in. Like, holy, what did she just say? She just said that all beliefs like basically have no merit and are not real. And I say absolutely 100%. Which is pretty crazy, right?
I know, I love that, because often you think if you're overriding a limiting belief with positivity, I mean, it can kind of help a little bit, but actually it's not helping the root cause, because what you want to do is be getting real. Can we just backtrack a little bit and just share a little bit about your story, about what happened to you? Was it in May 2015, and how you haven't always been like you are right now?
Yeah, and it's a perfect segue, because I was functioning first in my life from all of these negative beliefs, right? And, you know, having parents not feeling seen, not feeling wanted, not feeling good enough, feeling wrong and bad, even evil for being myself, right? So I grew up in a household, because of their realities, really, they were just projecting it onto everyone, right? And I happened to be one of their children, which was perfect for me, because I had all of these from other lifetimes, right? But so I came in, I got all this negative programming, and then tried to become all this positive stuff. So I was riddled with beliefs. I you know, completely filled to the gilled, right? And what actually ended up happening in 2015 was that I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So I had 7 brain tumors in my head. I had, you know, tumors in my liver, my intestines, my lungs. I had tumors between C1 and C2 in my back, so I was almost paralyzed, and tumors between C3 and C4. Like they were kind of carting me around, and all of it was internal, so I didn't know, and my body didn't actually. It didn't address or know that I had cancer. All my blood work was coming out normal, yet I was riddled with cancer and just about to die. And just for any of you guys that, you know, have anything going on, cancer related or whatever, what I've come to read and find out from different, more naturopathic kind of doctors is that a lot of these are stemmed from viruses. So it's my feeling that I got a virus as a child, and the virus was in my body for so long, it transmuted into cancer. And then my body didn't even know it had cancer, because it had been living with this thing for so long, it didn't address it as a foreign element or object. So So here I was, and they actually gave me 8 weeks to live if the treatment didn't work instantaneously. So I basically was faced with everything, right? Not only these negative beliefs, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, why does God want to kill me? What did I do to deserve this? Maybe I shouldn't really be here. I don't feel like I belong here. You name it, like basically every belief under the sun came up. In addition to the beliefs, underneath those beliefs, I feel and teach there are like 3 energies of separation, right? So there's fear, anger, and hurt. And it's all from the core initial separation from source. So, whatever it was that caused that, some religious texts say it's like the fall from the grace, or some other things. Like every religion has some idea of what the original sin was. But apparently at some point, humanity chose to separate, and they took the scales of life force energy off balance, right? So now, instead of experiencing what life actually is, which is just beautiful and goodness and joyful and wonderful, they began experiencing, I'm scared that I'm separate from God, or source. I'm hurt that I'm separate from source, right? And I'm angry. Why did you betray me? So during this process, I had mounds of emotional content from my initial separation that were just coming up to come out. It was like every day going to the mirror and being like, hi, sweetheart, how are you? And I would feel into the part of me that was scared and that was hurting and that was angry. And I would let her express and feel and breathe and release. So I gave what I call my little one a pathway to let go of this separation, right? I highly recommend it. It's a great process. Anytime you're going through anything emotionally, go to the mirror, and 3 great questions you can ask, since there are 3 energies of separation, are: what are you most scared of? What are you most hurt by? And what are you most angry at? And that will get to the core of every single issue. Okay, so once you begin to feel and breathe and release this information, and it begins to return to spaciousness, then you can actually reprogram your system in source energy. Before that moment, it's not even real. It's like, if you're scared and you're trying to be love, good luck. If you're angry and you're trying, or hurt or whatever, and you're trying to know that life is goodness that's working for you, good luck. Right? Because without that underlying information released, it's a lie.
Yeah, something you've really, so cool. And so true. There was a resonance in my heart when you said that, like, this is a truth. This is real. And that when we're unwinding the old dilemmas, and we're actually getting rid of stuff, of dross that takes up energy to be kept there. We're creating spaciousness, and what gets attracted into that spaciousness is what we then choose to bring in, right?
Yes!
Bingo!
Yes! Yes! And then you get to choose based on Source's infinite menu. Okay, I choose to live in gratitude, and that choice opens up the doorway to the gratitude, and now you are in that experience of that grateful life force energy because you've chosen it, and there's nothing in the way.
Exactly. And we noticed that abundance is all around us. So I was chatting to a guest the other day about how one must be grateful for everything that comes into your life. And I said to him, what about if you get like a speeding fine or something like that? You think, I don't want to be grateful for that because I don't want more of that. And I just thought that actually what it is, you're not particularly grateful for that particular piece of information. But what you do is you don't focus on it too much. You just go, okay, I'll just deal with that, silly me. But actually what you do is notice all the abundance around you anyway, that all the time, whenever difficult things happen, there's still the abundance, there's still the love, there's still the chi. So it kind of pulls it into perspective. I just wondered what you think about that.
Oh, absolutely. And, the thing too with, returning to life force energy, which is the most incredible gift that you could ever give yourself. It's like, it's what's already in your heart. it's what you already know is true. Like deep down in your system, past all the illusionary beliefs and all that irritation of separation, or, you know, even like frustration because you got a ticket, just all that stuff that's not even real. I mean, all that's made up. Who made up the ticket? You know, like who made up whatever? It's all not real. Like, what if you got so anchored in life force energy and then trained yourself into life force energy so fully that nothing could take you away from life, which is what you were talking about. Nothing could bring you out of balance.
This is what we're getting to, because, you know, I practice Qigong and I don't know where I'd be without it, because what it does is it gives me the tools and techniques to bring myself back. Keep bringing yourself back. I mean, through the meditation, through movement, sometimes there's specific movements I need to do very quickly because I'm quite angry about something, and they'll bring me back into, oh, it's all right, it's all energy, it's just balancing itself out. And there I am in the center of that, watching.
Yes, it's so good.
It's so good.
Through this journey with cancer, letting go of all those limiting beliefs, and then letting go of the separation, the energies of fear, anger, and hurt, which are the three energies of separation underneath all beliefs that actually power all limiting beliefs, by the way. As I let go of that field, really a new, well, not even new, but a real field of energy began emerging. And life force energy took its place, right? So working with all of these people from all over the world, I began noticing, like, okay, so first we've got to let go of those self-imposed limiting beliefs and those energies of separation. And then we've got to move you into alignment with source energy. And so I asked upstairs, and I've been asking pretty much my whole time facilitating for the last 14 years, give me a perfect formula that is un-F-uppable. Is actually what I asked the angels. I apparently can cuss with them, right? I was like, give me a formula, a blueprint that I could give to my clients, where they could literally stand with source anytime. They know what source is, they know how to stand with it, they know when they're aligned with it, and so they can choose it in any moment, because there's not really an outline, right? Does anybody really have an outline of, like, well, how do you stand with source? Like, how do you move your consciousness from a limiting belief world into a truth world, right? And how is that done? And what is it like? Can we actually bring this into a space where we begin understanding it so we can choose it anytime, right? And they gave me these 6 principles, and they are epic beyond measure, and you can use them anytime to align with life force energy, and it's incredible.
Brilliant. Oh, just gonna before we launch into that, we really want to play one of your songs and then come back in and carry on. And Rikka is a songwriter and singer. She's got a beautiful voice. My goodness, those tracks are stunning on your album, The Miracle. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I was listening to it and I was just thinking, how am I going to choose one? And I thought of how all of us at the moment are going through so much with the whole climate chaos that's happening, and about how I feel that this is the big call for us all to unite and be as one. And you have a track called Beat as One, All One Heartbeat. Could you tell us a little bit about that track before we play it, please? This is my choice, by the way.
Absolutely. I love this song. It's phenomenal. I just enjoy it. Yes, it's really about allowing us to all merge with life force energy, as you have spoken, and realize that we all are one. We are all one with the unified field. And as we come into that oneness with the unified field, everything balances and harmonizes around us. Like, we actually, our consciousness does have an effect on life force energy. It does have an effect on the planet. Like, so as we move into that oneness in an intention for the world that we are standing for, the world that we are creating, the life that we are having, and we are not moving. This is the new world we're creating. We're creating all structures from love. We're creating all businesses from love. We're creating all governments from love. As we move into that, which I feel is the next stage, the next phase of humanity, then everything, all of the earth aligns. Pollution begins disappearing. Miracles happen to bring everything into the perfect alignment.
Brilliant. Let's hear this track and come back with Rikka Zimmerman after this. All beating as one. Oh, I love, love, love that track. I really, really, really do. Thank you so much, Rika, for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
So very happily also, Rika's given us permission to be able to play this for you on Pollen Podcast. So you'll be able to hear it on playback as well, which we can't always do with all our tracks, you see. So it's a bit special. So that's even better. And just before that, we were talking about your 6 principles and aligning with life force energy and really getting how you can connect with your chi and trust your chi and get used to how that feels like for you, so it becomes a non-negotiable place of balance to return to again and again. Go, Rika!
This is the best conversation in the whole world. Okay, so because it's the one that makes the most massive amount of difference. So what if there are 6 principles that life force energy already functions from? Okay, and it's simply the way that it is, right? It's aligned with quantum physics. And they're not actually beliefs, okay? They're just what is. Now, what's the difference between a belief and the truth? The truth is true for everything and everyone. And a belief would be something that would be a lens, like, oh, well, it's true for me, but it's not true for them. When you can recognize, oh, it's a belief, then you just know, oh, it's null and void. The belief itself creates the experience of the belief. So if you let go of the belief, you let go of the experience, it's all done, okay? Separation's over because it never existed. So there are 6 principles in which life force energy functions from. We all know that there's this power that's greater than us, right? But do you know how to align with that power? Do you know how to access it? Do you know how to allow it to manifest a life that's greater than anything you could ever imagine? Don't you think that would be a pretty important thing to know if everything's made of life force energy, how life force energy actually works? Right? So that way we can be functioning from truth instead of these negative and positive beliefs, right? So are you ready for the first principle? Yeah. Okay. So the first principle is I am loved by source. Now, if you look out into, nature, right? And when I say love, to me, that's equal to life force energy, right? They're the same thing. It's the energy of God, source, the universe, spirit, oneness, whatever it is that you'd like to call it, that's actually behind everything, giving life to everything, right?
Chi, 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 chi,
exactly.
chi. I love it.
So that chi, if you look into like a seed, right, in a forest, a seed of a tree, that chi is moving through that seed and through the ground to bring it into being a plant, to bring it into being a tree, to bring it into bearing fruit. Like, okay, is that seed being loved? Absolutely, right? It is being loved and cared for and nurtured. It's being given everything that it needs to be alive and to have life. It's just the way life is, right? So the truth is, you are loved by source already. Like, I'm sorry, I know that you believed that you weren't loved, right? But you can actually believe that you aren't loved forever, and that'll never make it so. So we can either continue with believing that we're not loved and fight against the entire universe and this unified field and all this chi, or we can just go, you know what? Screw it, I accept, right? I just plainly and simply accept that I'm loved by life force energy, and everything's made of life force energy, which means I'm actually loved by everything, and everything is loved by everything. And it's just the way it is. Okay.
And I really love that because it's a truth. And it's taking the observation that I made that Mother Nature grows everything with the color of green. And green is the color of the foundational heart chakra. Go figure. So you've just given me another piece of that jigsaw. It's like, if nature does love like that and we're part of nature, then we just are love. So it's no big deal, actually.
Yes.
It just is. And it's the acknowledgement of that just ripples down such a long way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so cool because it's already this way. We're already loved. Like, everything's made of this energy of love, which is life force energy, and everything's flowing with life force energy. So it's all being loving as well. And then all of love is being loving with love, which means everything's loved. And I'm not making it up. It's just the way it is. Like, So there we go, right? Like,
Okay.
you're already loved. So the second principle
Number 2
is I am one with source. Okay. So quantum physics actually shows us and tells us that we're one with the unified field. Okay. So like, I know you might believe that you're separate, right? Or that you're lacking, or that you're missing something, but it's actually just not true. You're one with source, with chi, with life force energy. It's already this way. You can't even take yourself out of it. It's not impossible, right? And the other thing quantum physics actually shows us and tells us is that within every one of our cells in our body is everything energetically and holographically in the entire universe. So let's just like take that on for a second, right? So you may have beliefs and stories about like, I'm lacking, I'm not whole, I don't have this energy, I don't have access to this, I'm not abundant, right? But you can believe that for all of an eternity, it'll never be true. It's just not.
I just love it. And exactly. And though we are all unique expressions of the one, we are all connected as one.
Yes.
That's what's behind it all. The chi, the source, the life force energy, the love is what we all share. That's our bedrock. And how we express is our unique gift.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's exactly it, right? So we're already one. So why have conversations about how you're lacking? Like there's no point to it, right? It's just nonsensical. It's non-reality. It's just not even something that'll ever be true, right? And it's just completely proven, right? So it's like, okay, so we're waking up to, oh, okay, I was completely dead wrong about who I thought I was and all this stuff. So instead of entertaining that, which is you're the creator and putting more energy into those lies, I'm actually simply just going to put energy into knowing this truth and accepting it because it already is. So, and making it welcome and making yourself available to it. Like, yes, you know, I am one. Okay. Which means there's nothing outside of you. There's no reality to overcome. There's nothing in the way of you manifesting. Like, you're one with it already. So when you begin functioning from that oneness, it changes how you manifest because you're manifesting and bringing things to you from a place of already being those things and already having those things. It's almost like you're just inviting them into your physical space, but they're already a part of you. So it changes how you function in life. It changes everything about what a lot of, you know, spiritual teachings are teaching, right? It's like, oh, think of this future and now imagine yourself in that. Okay, that's really cool. But if it remains a picture or something in the future, it can't enter into the now. You're the creator. It's got to be here and now, already done. And when you function from that field, it is already done and it doesn't matter, right? Because you're already one with it. So why would it matter whether it's here or not? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm feeling what you're saying because what you're doing is you are acknowledging what is already there. So when you give energy to what is already present, it's able to bring its gifts on. Come along. Bye. Cheers. Cheers. Cup of tea. Cheers. Cheers. What have you got in your tea mug today?
I have got some chicory root coffee here.
Chicory root coffee in a tea mug, and I've got my oolong tea. Time.
So let's get into principle 3, yeah?
Principle 3, moving on swiftly. Rikka Zimmerman is here on Chi Time.
Okay, and in case you're just getting in, like being like, oh my God, I got to write these down. Okay, you can just simply, I am loved by source. I am one with source. Those are the first 2 principles. So principle number 3 is I am being served by source, right? So right now you have 40 trillion cells in your body that are all functioning on behalf of your life to bring you life, okay? And they're all working in unison. Everything is, all those cells are working in the highest for your highest good, for life itself, to bring you life. Like, let's just look at that. Like 40 trillion, not 2, not one thing going right. 40 trillion. Now, this is how life force energy actually functions and is. All of these cells, all of these molecules, everything, life force energy is serving in the highest, coming through, right? Your life to serve life in the highest. to serve love in the highest, right? So in every moment, that's actually what's happening with life force energy. So some of you guys go, but then, you know what, this bad thing happened. I got triggered. It was really terrible. What do you mean that life is working on my behalf and working for me? Well, if you got triggered, then there's information that is in misalignment with life force energy, right? You're upset, you're angry, you're hurt, you know, you got a ticket and nothing works out for you, right? That's not true. And your energy, your chi is tied up in that. So life force energy is trying to come through to escort out that information so that you can come into alignment with life force energy. It's your whole path. That's what we're doing here. Right? We're returning love to itself. We get to be these beautiful vessels of source energy itself that say, hey, I am source, I see source, I experience source, and everything and everyone. That is the truth. That is what I stand for. And I do not believe in 1 ounce of the illusion of separation, right? That's what we're doing here. So just a note on your life when it feels like, oh, well, yeah, but I got triggered. Life is not serving me in the highest. It's trying to escort out where you believe life isn't serving you in the highest so that it can serve you in the highest, and you can know it and be it and enjoy it.
and it's like bless the trigger, because that stuff needs to come out, you know.
Yes, that's exactly it. Are you ready for principle
number 4? Yes.
Okay. Number 4 is I am received by source. Okay, so you are made of source energy. We are made of source energy. Each one of us is made of source energy. Would that be correct?
Totally.
Yeah. And everything and everyone is made of this energy as well. So let's see. We are source. How could source not receive us as source? Let's just take a moment with that, right? If we are, you know, source, God, the universe, chi itself, how could that energy not acknowledge that we are that energy? Right? Now, what this does is it ends all the stories of I'm not received, I'm not seen, I'm not acknowledged, I'm not heard, I'm insignificant, I don't matter. Like all that self-talk that is making you less than God itself, it ends that. Because you go, wait, if I'm received by source, you begin to say, I'm received by source. So how is source receiving me? You know, how is life force energy receiving me? Well, life force energy is receiving me as these 6 principles. As love itself, as the oneness with God itself, as something that is serving in the highest, as something that is received by source itself. And we will get on to the 5th and 6th, but it is in the process of receiving you as this most miraculous, magical, incredible gift. So let's get over ourselves, right? Like, do we really need to be received by like a mom or a dad that has tons of separation and has no capacity for it? You know what? It's okay. Do we need to be received by friends who maybe have some self-judgment and they project it onto us? Well, no, you know, I'm received by God, which means I'm received by everything and everyone already. And so I get to live in that because I'm living in the truth.
You're carrying that to another salient truth. But it's the deep explanation of that is really helping it to be acknowledged and taken on board as that truth. And thank you, Rikka. Really amazing.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Okay, so the 5th principle
the 5th one. Here we go.
I am infinite in source.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because source is infinite possibility, right? The source is infinite probability and possibility infinitely, right? So everything right now is possible. Everything is a waveform and a particle showing up at the same time, right? So it's becoming however you see it, while also holding the infinite possibility of however you're going to see it next, right? Everything is possible. Everything is here. You're made of infinite possibility, right? Every situation's made of infinite possibility. Nothing is limited. It just isn't. Like if you look into quantum physics, it shows us everything is these infinite possibilities. It's actually a miracle that this wall exists, right? Because it shouldn't be solid. It's sitting as infinite possibilities and just appearing for our sake to appear as a dense structure so that we can have this pretend wall, right? So when you begin accepting that you're infinite and that every situation is infinite, it opens the door to infinite possibility and anything and everything being able to show up. It opens the door to magic and miracles that are beyond anything that you could have tried to believe in. You don't have to believe in magic. You're already made of it. You don't have to believe in miracles. You're already a miracle. Life force energy is already a miracle.
Is this how we're changing the world? I just realized that it's not how we're going to I think it's already happening. We are already changing our world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because here we are with these 6 principles. You're the creator, and you're one of the contributions to the way that people see consciousness. You're part of the collective. So when you stand in source and you add that divine seed back into the collective, then the collective remembers, oh yeah, this is the way it's always been. It's the tipping point. And these 6 principles, actually, when you function from them, they allow you to be that change maker and allow you to function from it and choose from it and see from it and experience from it and know from it. And they're phenomenal. Like, this is a 3-day training, by the way, you guys, that we are opening up here.
I was just going to say, we do need to kind of wrap this up, sadly, because I could talk to you for hours, and hopefully we'll do again in the future. But you have an event coming up in Sydney, Australia, November the 15th to the 17th, to teach these 6 principles, yes?
Yes, and to bring people back into the truth of their abundance, the truth of their magic, the truth of the miracles that they are, right? And to allow that to reflect in your life, to have the, abundant wealth, to have the abundant relationships and love in relationships, to have the abundant health, right? So, and because I've been through all of these things and standing in source now, having all of these things, I can just simply lead you through the process, and bring you into this so that you can have a life that's incredible and beyond anything you could even imagine was possible. So that's going on at rikkainaustralia.com, rikkainaustralia.com, and you guys can join us. It's a $997 event, and we are actually inviting people to it for $197. So 3 days with me, oh my God, for $197, come on out. It's going to be incredible. Oh, register now, because we only have so many seats, and I'm not saying that to make up urgency. It's actually true. We have a room. We have 150 seats in the room, and we're already like filling up fast. So if you get this, like, go there and just grab your seat.
Okay. Rikka, what I'm just going to pick up before we do principle number 6 to finish with, that what you just mentioned there was like health, that your health and your abundance, the abundance of your health is what is so important now. Your health is your true wealth. And everyone I know has got something that they're having to deal with. This shouldn't be normal. We should find our health again. Our health is our blueprint. Our health is at our center. And it really feels like these principles are helping really profoundly towards people regaining their true health.
Absolutely, because all of those self-imposed beliefs and doubt and not good enough and undeserving and upset and all of that, that's exactly what causes these health crises, right? Okay. So when we come into alignment with life force energy, the power of Chi, the miracle of Chi, what it can create in our lives and how it can rebalance our hormones, how it has within it this perfect divine blueprint. And that perfect divine blueprint allows everything in your world to return to that perfect divine blueprint, right? where health, disease, can't exist, and disharmony with having and being wealthy and just allowing that level of abundance, it can't exist. Where upset and fights in relationships, they don't exist in source energy. It just doesn't happen because it doesn't happen in you. And you can actually bring that into a functioning way to be in the world. So this is what I get to train people on, how to be source in the world and in their lives.
Wonderful, wonderful. Rikka Zimmerman, can you just share with us that 6th principle before we go, please?
Okay, this 6th principle takes the 5 principles and literally puts it on steroids. Like, it allows you to have manifestation that is like instant. It allows not even transformation, but already transformed. It hooks you up with like magic and miracles and that key that you've been missing to bring everything into a full realized, not a potential, but actually a physical reality in your life. Okay. So, and that principle is, I am already. Okay. And what does that mean? Why are we saying that? Well, source itself, life force energy, is life, and it functions from these 6 principles, and it always has, right? So it's always been source. It will always be source, and it has always been source. So the truth is, these 5 principles are already done. They're already the way that it is. They're already the way that you are. They're already the way that everything already is. Right? And when you function from that, imagine manifesting from this perspective, conscious perspective, because your perspective changes everything, right? So manifesting from the perspective of, this is already done. How quickly can it show up? It's already done, right? So it takes those principles and just brings it to the next level. So some real quick tools just to bring you on your way so you can begin really using this in your life. Okay, step 1. Everything that comes up without you choosing it is not yours. Okay? You are conscious awareness. You are your choice from Source's infinite menu. Everything else is your awareness of what other people are choosing and broadcasting. Okay? Just take that in. That's a huge lesson. To really absorb that, that can take a lifetime. So just take a moment and breathe that in. So, but here's the tool to begin actualizing this. Did I choose that? Or did that come up automatically? Oh, that came up automatically. Therefore, it's not mine. Then, what do I choose based on Source's infinite menu, right? And if you have a hard time getting to what that infinite menu is, you can say, well, since I am already loved, already won, already being served, already received, and already infinite, okay, what would I choose from here? And you're simply like that quickly aligned with an entirely real, true perspective of life force energy so that you can create with life and co-create with actual life, real energy, a life of your dreams, a life of gratitude and love and joy. And from there, you can choose anything. I choose to be joyful. There you go. It's already done, right? It opens the door to having and being everything and really being able to be the one that is consciously creating your life. Because before you're functioning from all the automatic, you get mixed up in all the information you're aware of. You are not your awareness. You are aware of your awareness. You are your choice, right? So just go ahead and say, yes, I am my choice. Good.
Yes, I am my choice. Every choice has a voice.
Yes, and affirm those 6 principles every day, right? Okay. I accept that I am loved by Source. Mm-hmm. I accept that I am one with Source. I accept that I'm being served by Source. I accept that I'm received by Source. I accept that I'm infinite in Source. And I accept that all of this is already done. Now, let me begin living my life from that truth.
Oh, beautiful. Rikka Zimmerman, thank you so much for your time and such wisdom that you shared with us here on Chi Time. I look forward to meeting you at some point in the future, but until then, again, big thanks from my heart to yours.
I love you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. It's a beautiful day. Looking forward to seeing you guys in Sydney, and just love you all so much.
Sounding all the drum beat pounding in our hearts together in step with the rhythm of love. Feel the pulse of life resounding inside you and I together in time with a beat from above. Let the music move you through your body, feeling like the firelight deep inside your soul. Look into my eyes and you will see the God inside you and me. You will know we are loved. You and I come together. My breath is your breath is my breath. With the one breath we breathe as one. My heart is your heart is my heart. With the one heart we beat as one. Echoing me, can you hear it calling it in. Let the symphony of infinity play you like an instrument of never-ending love. Open up your heart and let love have every part so we can start to feel nothing but love. You and I come together. My breath is your breath is my breath. With the one breath we breathe as one. My heart is your heart is my heart. With the one heart we beat as one. Together we beat as one. Together we beat as one. Let the music move you through your body. Feel it like the fire of life deep inside your soul. Let the music move you through your body. Feel it like the fire of life deep inside your soul. Let the music move you through